Hello, and I haven't written my notes. Shh. Hello, and welcome to another episode of a weekly deathmatch. And you know what? This isn't take 2, this is take 3, because I just recorded 10 minutes of audio for this video, and I ended up deleting it, and I'll get into that in just a second. But very quickly, what I do want to say is I made a big mistake in this video by cranking up the difficulty from Adept to Masterful, because on Adept I always seem to win quite easily against these bots, so I thought one difficulty level wouldn't be too hard, given that there's like 10 difficulty levels. It's very incremental. But I tried turning it up just one increment to Masterful, and there's no polite way to say it, I sucked shit. It wasn't very delicious at all, it was disgusting. I have a lot of regrets. But I'm putting it out anyway because I can't be asked to record another match, so some of it was due to me being a bit rusty at Unreal Tournament and also having a shit aim, but I think some of it is due to maybe at a certain point when you get to Masterful bots, they kind of predict your movements to a point where players wouldn't. For instance, there's a couple of moments in this match where I get sniped and it's a little bit bullshit. I think I point them out in the chat. Not all of them, but a couple of them. Yeah, there was a lot of it. But anyway, I'm re-recording this audio because I left my earphones in front of the microphone again. Oh, sorry. Don't want to get doubled up audio now. I'm re-recording the audio because I spent 10 minutes trying to talk about 5 or 6 different topics, but instead I kept circling back to a point of low self-esteem. So I'm going to go through that this video. Basically, I've been turning a lot of my hobbies into creative projects. And that's a good thing, by the way. That's not the bad thing we're going to talk about in this video. So, for instance, I've been watching a lot of TV shows lately. And, well, I guess not more than normal, but just kind of lately, when I've been watching them, I've been... I don't know. So, for instance, with Doctor Who, I've been writing blog posts every season because I'm doing this big rewatch thing where Season 11 has just gone by and I want to talk about basically Doctor Who as a show, my favourite eras, my least favourite eras, what I liked about certain episodes, what I didn't like. So I've been doing these seasonal blog posts where I go over them and stuff, which is great. I've been really enjoying doing those. I might be taking a break now that I've got to Capaldi Zero, but I am going to keep doing them. But that's just one example. Another example is with these TV shows, I like a lot of their soundtracks, so I thought it'd be a good idea to make a Spotify playlist. And I've been compiling a lot of playlists. I still can't get my words straight today. I've been compiling a playlist. So, for instance, I've had Doctor Who soundtracks, Game of Thrones soundtracks, and I've been tweeting about that a lot. And yesterday, I realised I keep tweeting about this soundtrack, but nobody gives a shit, and that's fine, because if I saw someone tweeting about like their soundtrack or whatever, I probably would be a little bit disinclined to listen to it as well. Their soundtrack, their playlist, because not everyone has a lot of time, and just in general, people are interested in what they're interested in, not what other people are interested in. So I don't have any ill feelings towards anyone for that. And this is part of a larger thing as well, where I don't get a lot of views on these videos, or my live streams, or like my blog posts or anything like that. And it's because this world is so saturated with like other creative people. I'm not doing anything particularly unique here either. I haven't got any kind of really outgoing personality, or like I'm not doing anything really unique or different or anything like that. And so I don't attract many followers. I don't put myself out there much either. I don't like advertise myself anywhere, so that's probably another reason. But at a certain point, it kind of like seeps into the videos. Like you'll notice a lot of the time, I'll be like, if I'm like streaming, if I address like, oh, you guys, and I'll be like, oh, what do I mean, you guys? I'm the only one like listening, that kind of thing. And I don't know, just the last recording I did, like I said, I was trying to talk about 5 or 6 different topics, but I kept circling back to no one like really cares, and I feel like a lot of the time I'm fighting against that feeling, because no matter how often I say that kind of thing, when I create these videos and write these blog posts and create these playlists and all this kind of stuff, it feels really rewarding, and in a way that's kind of helped me last year especially. I had a really shit year in 2018, and I just kind of created to combat that, because creativity is a positive thing. Like, I grew up wanting to be a writer. I went to university for that very reason. So it's kind of when I feel most like myself, I guess. And last year I got, like, turning my hobbies into creative outlets was such a success that, like, I made a whole blog post about it called My Creative Resurgence, and I don't think that's really stopped. This weekly Deathmatch series has really helped as well, having a thing I do every week to kind of prove, mostly to myself, that I can constantly create things. It's just nice. And I'm rambling. I'm definitely rambling at this point. I don't remember what my original point was. I feel like I'm leading up to a big point. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, shit's good, and no matter what, a negative part of my brain is going to try and eat at me and tell me that, hey, nobody really cares about this stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't really make it for anyone else. Like, there might not even be anyone listening to this ramble right now. I make this stuff for me, and if you join in and watch, that's amazing, and I'm really glad you're here. But if not, I'm going to keep doing it, and I shouldn't be so self-critical about that kind of thing. And creating is exactly what I do to combat my self-criticism and my self-esteem. So, there. That's all I've got to say about that, I guess. So, sorry for the ramble. I've still got quite a bit of video left. Also, if I didn't really word that very well, that's because I normally save the more kind of real subjects like that for blog posts and stuff. But I'm going to listen to this again. I'll have put any clarifications up on the screen if I, like, said something that came out wrong, or, like, if I forgot to say a particular thing that I meant to say, I'll clarify. But other than that, I'm just going to leave that there. But what I am now going to talk about is that video I made, Kritigri's Gaming History, sorry. That was really fun to make because, firstly, it's obviously a personal project where it's like my own personal history, and it's nice to be able to get that out there and get that out of my brain, because memories decay, brains rot and die, you know, not to put a damper on things. But I suppose that was a bit exaggerated, but you know what I mean. After a certain amount of time, memories kind of go away, so it's nice to have that documented somewhere while it's still there, because like I said in the video, I really had to reach back and try and grab that memory of what my first PlayStation 1 games were, and it didn't used to be that hard remembering what they were, so I wanted to kind of have a recording that I could, maybe like 20 years down the line, go back and rewatch and be like, oh shit, yeah, Pandemonium 2, I completely forgot about that game. But also it was really fun to make from a video editing standpoint, because I fucking love editing, and I'm not very good at it. Like, I don't know most of the shortcuts. I think my gaming history video is the first time I've ever edited an image, like animated it, because it just span around and then what did it do? It zoomed out or something. That was the YouTube play button at the start of the video. That took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to do. Now that I've done it, it's going to be way easier in future. But the whole point is, I really like editing, and the more I edit, the better I am at it. I would try and find a job in editing if my city had anything like that, which I'm sure it doesn't. I've looked before and I've never found anything. I love, like, nailing comedic timing on things and changing things. Sorry, my cat just woke up and it scared the shit out of me. She, like, woke up massively startled. I like just like making videos better through editing. I don't know, it's when I put like these little text things, or I zoom in on specific things to try and show off like something funny that happened, like has probably happened a few times in this video. I don't know, I just love it. It's very rewarding, even though it does take a lot of time. It's one of my favourite things to do. So having a video series that's literally, it's not game footage or anything like that, it's literally just an edited together compilation of audio and images, it's nice. It's like practice, and it's also, like I said, a creative outlet. So that's nice. I have to say, it was weird though, because I viewed it a few times just to make sure I liked everything. I liked the edit and everything, and this one time I got really down about it. I was like, oh, this video kind of sucks, I might not put it out. But then I like went off and did something else for a couple hours. I watched it, came back and I watched it again, and I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is perfectly fine to publish. So it's really weird. Once again, going back to self-esteem for a second, it's really weird how self-esteem kind of it makes your own content like subjective. Like, I try not to delete things because of that, because it might be good, and if I come back to it in a couple of hours I might like it. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. It was a bit different, but if you did listen to my entire ramble, thanks for sticking around. See you next week.